All right, so live stream is working. Hi, we're almost to the tail end, but you are here just in time to find out about how to get booked on tons of how to get limitless interviews and PR. Where are those key locations to go, and what to do. So one of my greatest resources is HARO, Help a Reporter Out. So helpareporter.com is a place where you can either be it'll say source or somebody that's looking for sources. So I've been booked on Bloomberg Radio, books, all kinds of things. So Help a Reporter Out is a great way to find. This is where lots of even Popular Magazine, Time Magazine, various places go to find experts in specific fields to contribute their knowledge. So Help a Reporter Out is a great one, and it's totally free. The other one is Radio Guest List. So Radio Guest List.com is another place where the people that have podcasts will post their radio interviews. Podcast, terrestrial radio, both of those are there. Now, I have used only the free version. I know they have a paid version. They have a lot of great services, so you can check those out. But just to let you know, I've booked hundreds of interviews just on their free version. And what I love about it is I can see who the host is, how many shows they've had. You can do all of your due diligence with what they've provided. I'm in a place in my career where if somebody's just getting started, unless I really love them and I want to help them, I'm looking for places where I know they're going to have a good reach, they have the experience, and that they're marketing it in a way that's going to make a difference. So on those platforms, you can look at it. Also, we have a great partnership. If you go to businessaccelerationnetwork.com/partners, we work with Speakertunity. And so Speakertunity has given you free access to their lists. So they have radio insiders and tons of places to get booked on radios. They have summits to get booked. So if you go to businessaccelerationnetwork.com/partners, you can access those lists for free. So I'm going to tell you a little secret if you're just getting started at this. I would do one at a time, right? Because I'm giving you access to 3 of them where you can get all 3 1 month for free. She gives you a lot. So if you're just getting started, start with the Radio Insider, do that for 30 days, then go to the next one, 30 days, then go to the next one, and find out which one really serves your speaking needs that's there. Eli, I know that you had one. Juliet, do you have any other resources that are...
Yeah. Go ahead. So I use Podmatch, and the interview that I have right after this, I finally got Alex to come on my show. Podmatch it's a pay service. I believe it's anywhere from $6 to $25 a month. And what's amazing about it is, as a host, I am constantly getting hit with PR firms sending me emails telling me about what a great guest someone will be. And you can tell right away that nobody vetted my show, nobody vetted the guest. They're not a good match. Over on Podmatch, you can actually, like just this morning, I picked up somebody that they matched me with. So as a podcaster, you can be matched with pod guests and vice versa. It also gives you the opportunity as a pod guest to reach out to podcasters if you think you would be a good fit on their show. I haven't chosen any of those yet, but they've given me some really great matches for people that have been on my show. So I actually put my affiliate link up in the top if you go through the chat. But I love their service. It's easy to use. You just log in, put your information in, and they start the matching.
Beautiful. So it's podmatch.com/sign-up/super-brand. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Eli, did you have anything to contribute to this part of how to get booked?
Oh, yeah. Podmatch is great. The comment that I made, I thought it was hilarious that she brought that up and posted in the chat here, because I literally have that page up there because I have 3 people who've actually reached out to me to be a guest on their shows. And I just need to get in there and reply to them. So yeah, Podmatch is a great one. There's another one that I have played with, Speaker Hub. is a good one. And then even there's a couple of Facebook groups. One of them that's a very basic one. There's always stuff going on in this is Need a Guest is the name of it. It's a Facebook group, Need a Guest. Do a search for that. You'll find it. Angel Tusi runs that. There's a couple of other ones out there, but that one is a great one. If you go in there and literally say, I'm a speaker, I'm looking for, opportunities to be on this kind of show, you've got it. And if you're a host and you're looking for people, you can get booked for months just by posting one time saying, hey, I'm looking for people in this niche to be a guest on my show. And yeah, you're good for at least a couple months because you will get bombarded.
Beautiful. Yay. Okay. So you need to go out there and get, and I love that you guys shared some paid services, because some of those paid services are can be far more superior than the free services. I have to say, I have really loved, if you're on this journey of getting booked, I've really loved having all of these resources to learn and work through the bugs. And one of the things that we do, if you need help with this, is helping you get booked, helping you set up this part of your business model and your system, working with this system to get out there in a bigger way. So the last piece that I want to talk about is, now you've done the podcast, what to do next. A lot of times people do it and they're just like, great, okay, I've got this marketing. This is your content. And Juliet, I know that you do, here I am plugging you, but you do a content creation piece. Before I get into the content, do you mind talking about, well, no, let me get into the content and then I want you to share that. So once you have a podcast, like, you want to start a media asset folder. We use monday.com. We have all of our prior podcast. We keep the marketing, we keep the links, we keep everything there. And we are constantly resharing those. We are resharing those on our social media. We're sharing those in our newsletters. I could be on with a client with a call and say, hey, go listen to this podcast. So this becomes, you can do snippets and repost those. So when you do this, now you've actually set up your marketing and assets for quite some time. So Juliet, I'm going to turn this over to you on some of the content, because I know you actually do a workshop on this. You and Chris,
I do.
right?
I have a workshop. Yeah, we have a workshop called I Love Content that tells you how to develop a content calendar. Chris is part of that too. I will tell you, if you want to see a great example of how to do this easy peasy, go over to weclosenotes.com/media. That is Scott Carson's website. Scott was actually my coach in 2020. And we had a contest to see who could get booked on the most. He takes the cover of the podcast and he links it directly into the podcast. So you can use it as part of your media kit. But also, here's the beauty of what he does. He has the links on his site. So he leads people via social media back to his site to get to the podcast. So he's creating SEO for his own site every time somebody clicks through. So imagine you've been on the show, there's the image of it, you click through, you listen, you love it, but now you've just clicked through to his site. So you can look around for other things as well. In order to be a good guest, you need to share, because if people see you sharing that you've been on somebody's podcast and they're even thinking about having you as a guest, they will know that you are going to do your best to market this. And that makes you attractive as a guest as well. Because remember, it's not all about you. It's also about them and the invite to their show. So Scott's is just an example. He went way overboard with it. I think he had like 120 interviews in the year that we had the contest. I made it to almost 100. But it's a great way to showcase. And then, Shannon just said she keeps it in Monday. This way, it's right over on your site and you can put it right on your content calendar and rotate the people as you go through. So you have constant content to share if you're a frequent guest.
What was that website again?
It's called We Close Notes.
We Close Notes. Okay.
Yeah. weclosenotes.com/media. And he is masterful at this. I would love to do it, but I have been too lazy to put it all together because I was on so many of them. But if you scroll down on that page, you'll see he's got.
I'm going to show it real quick if that's okay.
Yeah, 8 billion guests. You can see he's got that all there on his site.
Wow. Yeah.
It's that actually looks different than it does on my site right now. But yeah, on my side, on mine, it's side by side, but it's a great way. And it's also a great way for people to go into your media kit and get a little snippet of you on another show and determine, are you a good guest? How do you present? How do you look? How do you show up? So it's sort of a teaser for people to book you as well.
Beautiful. Okay. And so, this is exciting. Anybody else want to contribute to this? What your content class? When is that? Real quick.
The content class is sort of a beginner for people who don't have content. If you're an online entrepreneur, you need content. The content is the value that you provide that builds trust with an audience. So what we do in the content class is we review what are your keywords, what are your hashtags, how do you take your book and break it down into good content, how do you create a content calendar so every month so that you can just create it and hand it off to a virtual assistant. So we teach you how to do all of this. It's a month-long intensive, and we have 4 group calls and then 4 one-on-one calls. So you either, Sarah's coming back for the next one. So you either get to work in that same week with Chris, Sarah, or I on your individualized content and how to build it. And everybody who's taken the classes just raved because it all seems super overwhelming until we actually show you how we streamline it and make it easy. I don't spend more than probably an hour, 3 hours a month developing, so recording my podcast, but the content calendar takes me an hour every month, and then I hand it off to a virtual assistant who posts, and we post 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Christy.
Can I, the one of the things that they've really loved is when we say you can take content from your book even if you haven't written it yet. And when we start showing them how that is and how actually it seems so overwhelming, but it's so simple, they just get all excited and start doing it because it's not overwhelming anymore.
Yeah.
So Juliet and I, we've been having a lot of fun with that.
That's awesome. So how would they find out about that?
Get in touch, get on my calendar, chatwithjuliet.com, and we'll tell you all about it. See if it's a good fit. We're going to have some questions about where you're at, what you're doing, because we want to make sure that it is a good fit. And we've even started, the last time we took our avatar class and we gave it as pre-course work so that people could actually, we knew we were talking to the right people with our content. So we did something different this time. And I think the people in the class were like, I thought my client was that person, but now that I'm going through this, I can see that it's really this person. So then they began validating with their content that they were speaking to the right person because they were struggling before, and now they can see why.
That's awesome. Yay. Okay. And this, we just modeled when you go on to an interview, and I know this is a different setting, but you see how I said, hey, Juliet, what about this? When you go on with another host, getting to know what they do. Like, I've worked with Juliet for years now, so I know what she does. And so you have a snippet of time with the host to find out, what do they do? What are they excited about? Is there what's their idea? I mean, one of my first questions is, what's your ideal client? And so when you do that, you can be having a conversation like this, and then you can get them to seed more. So Eli, I know you had a contribution here.
Yeah, I wanted to go back up just a little bit and talk about the, if you're a guest on somebody else's show, Julia had mentioned, make sure you share it out. One of the easiest things you can do with that, when you get the information, the show is live, sit down, write 3 or 4 short posts for social media all at once. Don't try to do it once and then think about it later, because that's never going to happen. Write 3 or 4 immediately. One of them goes out now, and you can either have your VA do it, put it on a calendar, or if you want to get techie with it like I do, you can schedule the other ones out for down the road. So I have stuff going out that was written and put together for podcasts that I did 6-8 months ago. And it's just in the system. It just does its stuff. but do it all in one shot so it's ready to go, as opposed to, oh yeah, I need to go back and promote that again. And it's okay to promote stuff that you did 6-8 months ago, because the more content you put out there, the more people are going to see you. They're going to see that you are an expert in what you do. And the people who see it today are not the same people that are going to see it in 6 months.
Right.
You're gonna have different
Even
sets of eyeballs
years,
on.
Eli,
Yeah.
like I just clicked
Oh,
on
yeah.
something in Twitter the other day, and when I went, I saw comments from like 6 years before, and it was still relevant. I was like, wow, this woman has really repurposed the content.
Yeah. Well, great example of this. I had a podcast that I did years ago, and it was probably, I'm going to say like 8-9 years ago. I got clients from that one show for over 4 years. People would come back and they were hooked on that show, and they started binge listening to previous episodes. They heard mine and reached out to book a call with me because they were still intrigued by what I had to say. And I ended up getting clients out of that.
That's awesome.
3 or 4 years later. That's the cool thing about podcasting. It's just there. It works forever.
Awesome.
I
Great.
have to run.
Yep, we're at the top of the hour. Real quick, everybody that's on, all of you that are watching live stream, you missed the free ticket, because everybody that's on is already coming to Media Magic 8th boot camp. This is where in 48 hours or less, you can pull together your press kit. This is where we work hand in hand with you to complete your press kit. We work on your power bio, we work on press release. We actually have the media there. We're doing a similar panel, but you can, raise your hand and say, hey, I want to talk to Eli. I want him to look at my pitch, or hey, I want to talk to Juliet, or hey, I want Shannon to help me craft that elevator pitch, whatever it is that's there. So if you go to MediaMagicBootcamp.com, you can get all of the details that are there. We have some incredible deals right now until the end of the month. Hope we see you there. If you want to connect with me, you can go to meetshannon.com. There's, you can text, schedule, and see if it's a good fit for you too. So with that, Eli, thank you so much for being here. Thank you everybody for being here. This is one of my favorite, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.